Councilmember Esteban Rosales,
Present.
Councilmember Lisette Servin,
Present.
Councilmember Javier Vargas,
Present.
Vice Mayor Tadeo Asael de la Hoya,
Present.
Mayor Nieves Raydell,
Present.
Vice Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. We're not gonna, if we can all please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilmember Servin, can you lead us, please?
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Invocation, Councilmember Cruz.
Would you join me in a prayer, please? Thank you, Heavenly Father, for one more day of life. We are so grateful for today. Lord, as the day continues, let council, mayor and vice mayor and council members do their duty as we lead this city to progress. And please bless us, Lord, with wisdom, discernment, so that we can continue to work, Father. And we pray blessings upon this city so that we can prosper in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I'm gonna, if no one opposes, I'm gonna take call to the public out of the way. So I'm gonna call to the public. This is the time for the public to comment on the ARS 38-431-01, subsection I. Members of the City Council shall not discuss or take legal action on matters raised during an open call to the public that are not properly noticed on this agenda for discussion and legal action. At the conclusion of an open call to the public, individual members of the City Council may respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the City Council, may ask staff to review a matter, or may ask that matter to be put on a future agenda. Do I have anyone sign up for call to the public?
Vice Mayor, no, there is nobody on call to the public.
Vice Mayor, just today's Vice Mayor de la Hoya's birthday. Let's wish him a happy birthday before I leave.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So now we've taken care of call to the public. I'm going to go to item number 4, proclamations as presentations. Proclamation, item number 4A, Proclamation on Government Communications Day, February 21, 2025. Item 4B, presentation of the 2025 State of Arizona Legislative Session Update, Armando Esparza, Economic Development Department.
Good evening, Mayor and Vice Mayor, and council members. Today, I wanted to give a quick presentation for the public, just to get a look at some of the items that this 57th legislature is looking at. A quick overview of the session. This started on January 13th. And as of Monday, when I put together this presentation, there were a total of 1,644 measures, including 802 House bills and 733 Senate bills. The deadline to submit bills in both chambers has passed. The Senate was February 10th, and so was the House. I'll keep you updated, members of the council, as time progresses, but now that the bills are introduced at the chambers, they will move to the opposite chambers for hearings, respectively. The 100th day of session is scheduled to be April 22nd. I think we would like to start by saying that I think the legislature is taking some action against municipal governments in a couple of areas that I'm going to be presenting. But I think that the first one and the most important one is municipal finance. As council, we have been having conversations with city administration about one of the main bills, which is the food tax bill. Today, just for background, this bill is proposing to remove local food tax collection on food that will be taken to home for consumption. For the city of San Luis, that would be a $4 million budget cut that, again, is imposed by the state legislature. This bill is unique in that it doesn't follow the traditional process of starting in one chamber, then going to the opposite chamber, and then going to the governor for signature or veto. The House is proposing to put it out to the voters. And I think that they are trying to put it out to the voters, but they don't really understand how it will really impact municipal budgets. We were doing some cost savings, and for example, here in San Luis, it would only be $4 of saving for every $100 of groceries bought. But really, it'll cost the community $4 million. So it's not $4 of savings; it is $4 million that is going to be costing us. There is some good news as of today on this bill, is that Mayor Rydell and I were up at the Capitol with the League of Arizona Cities and Towns, and there is a proposed amendment that would allow cities that already have the food tax in their, as part of their budgets to keep it. But if a city or a town wishes to increase, or if they don't have one and they wish to set a new one, they would have to go to their local voters. So I think that this compromise would meet that what the legislature is trying to do with allowing public input, but also meeting some of the concerns that all cities and all mayors have on impacts to their budgets. This is a big bill that we're tracking, and we'll keep you updated on how the progress goes, both to the community and mayor and council. Two other bills that are similar is that any fee increase or any new tax should have a supermajority vote by the council to be put out to ballots. Again, the cities and towns are opposing this because it's the state government imposing on local authority. And additionally, there's been some previous actions that the legislature has taken to preempt local authority. Like, for example, we know about the state share revenue with the flat tax, that was a $2.5 million hit to our budget. And then there was a removal of the rental tax, which was not huge for the city of San Luis, but it was a good portion. But for other communities, it was millions of dollars. And now they're looking at reassessing the income tax to reduce it again. This is a new bill that just dropped last week before the deadline, so I am still sorting through it to see how it would impact. And again, I think the legislature is really trying to hit municipal budgets, and that's how the league sees it. They're trying to supersede local authority. Another area that the legislature is really looking at this session is housing and zoning. And it's not just this session. They've been trying to do it over the last couple of sessions. They've been trying to do by right zoning. They're trying to impede cities from having their own permitting process and their own ways to inspect and zone plots. And right now, I think that the league is being proactive by working with the Senate to work with senators and communities to ensure that, one, cities still have that authority to regulate their zoning process and their permitting process, their construction process, but also ensuring that new development is affordable, because that is a concern of some legislatures. So on this bill, there's two bills, again, one in each chamber, and they're doing this because it's a priority and they're trying to fast track this issue. The good bill on this is the Senate Bill 1229. The bad bill is House Bill HB 2371. Another bill regarding public safety is that the legislature is trying to stop municipalities from from reducing their public safety budget. And I think that might sound good to some, to some people, but if you think about it, sometimes if a fire department or a police department were to increase their budget to build a new station, that means that for the following year, they would not be able to decrease it. And if they were to decrease it, the legislature is proposing that the station revenue would not be given to the city. So this is one bill that the League also opposes. On the economic development, there is one bill that we are tracking that is the TPT, the sales tax. This bill would change how TPT is managed for online sales. So right now, any resident of San Luis who buys an online product and has it delivered to their home here or the post office, that revenue comes to the city of San Luis. What the legislature is proposing is that that sales tax be kept at where the warehouse is at. So for example, if someone buys something from Amazon and the warehouse is in Phoenix, the sales tax would go to Phoenix. Again, this is a bill that we are opposing, the League is opposing, because it's just like any shop, really. If the customer is in the city, the sales tax should go to that city. And I was talking with finance, and this would be another $1 million budget hit if it were to pass. So again, I think that the legislature is preempting a lot of local authority. And again, we're working with the League to fight this. Those, I think, are the main bill. Again, there's a lot of bills that are going through the legislature. Not all affect cities and towns, but I think that these are some of the ones that would affect us as the city of San Luis. So, and some of the next steps include just monitoring key bills and providing updates. We would also be engaging with our legislatures as the bills move through each chamber and through each committee. And then the governor is also hosting the State of the State in Yuma in the coming weeks, so we can learn more about what her proposed budget is and how that could benefit our community. And open to any questions or comments.
I got a comment. Thank you for your help. You're doing a great job. And you're very well informed, and I was impressed. It's kind of, there's a little ray of hope, and I think you agree with me that at least now that they're seeing all this opposition for so many rural cities, they're having second thoughts, and they're thinking of two options. The first option is the one that we should be keeping an eye on it, and that will save us for a while. And they allowed 20 mayors to speak, and everybody has a story to tell. And I think the legislators today learned something about San Luis. We're unique. We're a border town. We get hit from all places, like with the increase of the border crossings, bad our first responders, especially the fire department, got hit and got stuck with a bill that we're covering. And they were like in shock that we're 47 cops short, policemen short, and how now the feds are asking our police department, are asking us that the police department should help ICE and Border Patrol. And we will obey it, and we will try to do our best. But I think it was an eye-opener for them. And in my way out, you see at least 10 of the other mayors were surprised at our predicament, especially because we don't have a sales tax. And I took that time to explain that it had failed twice, it's going to fail again. I'm sorry, but it will. It doesn't matter. You're doing a great job, Javier. It's not a reflection of you. It wasn't a reflection of Mayor Sanchez or my reflection. It's a reflection of our culture, and where people see that 4 of us are supporting this bill and this tax, property tax, and 3 are my council members that they got a God-given right to vote any way they want to. It doesn't look good in the community, and I can predict that it will fail. And I pray that I'm wrong, but I know that I'm not. I see it in the comments, I see it in the people. It's part of our culture. People tends to believe that everything that they're paying is coming to the city, and it doesn't matter how many times you explain to them that none of the taxes that are being collected is coming to the city. It doesn't matter. They already being predisposed by our actions, beginning with us at the council, and beginning and then following with the people that take pride and enjoy misinforming our constituents. So it's an uphill battle, and they understood our predicaments. And they did have this idea on cities, we need to find other ways of raising monies, and I'm waiting for everybody, including my council, to come out with a plan and tell me how, so we can start seriously looking into it. But it was a good meeting, and like I said, they got an eye-opening, and Mayor Nichols congratulated us on the approach, on being so direct on this is what's going on, and this is how bad it's going to impact us. So I think they're backing down a little, so I think the only thing left that we can do is pray that they will see our needs and the rest of the other municipalities, they are being hit, and they're going to be hurt. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Anyone else? Any comments? Councilmember
Yes.
Cruz?
Oh,
Thank you for the presentation. Thank you, Mayor, for reconsidering and going representing San Luis. That's very important that they see the mayor speaking for our needs and everything like that. I congratulate you for reconsidering. That's very important that you decided to go. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
I just want to add that even though the proposition doesn't pass, we as elected officials, it's our job to bring solutions to the community, but at the end of the day, it's the community who choose what the results from the elections are. So it's our job to try to find solutions. So that's one of the things I want the community to understand, that we're not deciding. You are the ones who are going to decide. We just bring in the solution. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hearing none, I just want to clarify that when you say that the league opposes or supports is the Arizona League of Citizen Towns, which represents, supports and advocates what's best for the over 90 cities throughout the state. It's not on your presentation. Your presentation was great, but for the audience and people that might not understand, that's what the league means, the Arizona League of Citizen Towns, which represents us and the other over 90 cities throughout and towns incorporated in the state of Arizona.
Yes, that is correct, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. So appreciate it.
And thank you to the 2 other departments that went and joined us, the police department and the fire department is highly appreciated. It's showing a show of force. It helps. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for taking the trip to Phoenix. We're now going to go to item number 5, the consent agenda, which includes 5A, minutes of the regular council meeting held on January 8, 2025, and the disbursements from January 16, 2025 to February 5, 2026 for a total of $3,896,213.60. All matters are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So move.
Moved by Mayor Rydell. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Rosales. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone opposes, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 6A, discussion and possible action on any matters regarding the acceptance and approval for the filing of the annual comprehensive financial report for the City of San Luis for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2024. Ms. Rula Encinas, Director of Finance in Hanfield, Mitch & Co.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council members, staff, and members of the public. It's my privilege to present the annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2024. This report reflects our commitment to transparency and accountability in the city's financial management. Tonight, I'm pleased to introduce Ms. Brittany Williams, an engagement partner of the audit firm Hanfield Mitch. She will provide an overview of the ACFR for the fiscal year 2024 and other audit reports they issue. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Brittany Williams.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, thank you so much for having me here this evening. I have a presentation to help guide the conversation tonight, and I believe that you have all of the reports that we have issued so far for the City of San Luis. As Rola said, my name is Brittany Williams. I'm the engagement partner for the city audit. And I'll just, let's see, I think I can direct it. Do I direct it? Yes. There's some information about me and Jared Young, who's the audit manager. We've both been on this job for about 5 years, 6 years, and are very familiar with the City of San Luis, the personnel here, as well as the unique issues to the city. And the most important thing to note is that our firm specializes in government and not-for-profit audits only. So there's a lot of CPA firms, audit firms that dabble in construction or for-profit or public companies and tax and governments. But our firm, since our inception, has only focused on government audits. We feel that it's very important to dedicate all of our time, resources, training to developing our skills and knowledge that directly relate to governmental entities, because there's a lot to know. The most important part of the ACFR that we're responsible for is for issuing our independent auditor's opinion on the financial statements that are prepared by Rola, Miguel, and their team. They work really hard to get that report out by December 31st to get that very prestigious award from the GFOA, which they do. And this is the report. We come in, we look at all the figures, we look at the note disclosures, make sure everything's in accordance with standards, and we have issued a clean opinion on the financial statements. So that is a picture of that there. Here's some of the audit reports that we have issued or are coming due to be issued. So we did issue our auditor opinion on December 12th of 2024. On that same day, I sent a letter, my auditor communication to governance, directly to everybody on the city council. Hopefully you got it from me. That letter, it contains important information regarding, if there were disagreements with management, if we had found any sort of misstatements or fraud or anything of that nature, we would put it in that letter. There was nothing of that nature. It was a pretty straightforward letter, but I'm required to send it to you under auditing standards. The other letter that we issued was our accountant's report on the Highway User Revenue Fund money, saying that those were spent in accordance with state statute, which they were. The single audit reporting package was also issued on December 12th, and that contains all of the federal monies that were spent by the city during the year and which federal programs we tested during the year. We still have 2 reports to be issued, the annual expenditure limitation report, which is due at the end of March, and the biannual impact fees AUP report. And both of those are very, very close to being issued, but they are not yet issued. So the single audit report, I just wanted to point out, includes a lot of different elements. So in there is a report on internal control for government auditing standards. That's one of those standards that's very specific to governments and requires some extra training on independence and internal controls and things like that. And so we issue that letter, and that's in the single audit report. We also issue a report on internal control and compliance for the major federal programs that we tested during the year. We do a risk assessment on all of the federal grants that the city receives during the year, and we decide which ones we're going to test. And then we issue a report on that. Also, it contains the schedule of expenditures of all the federal awards for the year, which ones we tested, any findings that we noted. So I just wanted to draw your attention to this one page in the single audit report. Kind of gives you a good synopsis of everything. It gives you our opinion on the financial statements, if there were any findings related to internal controls. It tells you what our opinion was on the major federal programs that we tested and if there were any findings on that. And then it tells you which federal programs we tested this year. So this year we tested the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds as well as the Homeland Security Grant Program. There were no findings at all on any of that. As you can see, it's just no's and unmodified opinions all the way down. So this is as good as it gets. And, you know, this is a great testament to the staff here and your finance team. They do an incredible job. So that's kind of the proof of it right there when you see no findings and clean opinions. So just wanted to point that out. I like to include this resource slide for elected officials. This is from GFOA, the Government Finance Officers Association. They have a lot of like blog articles and posts and things like that for elected officials to and council members to kind of, you know, learn about the internal control and audit committees and interpreting the financial statements and things like that to kind of give you a high-level overview. Also, the AICPA has just come out with a new resource. That AICPA link there for government financial literacy also has ebooks, articles, podcasts, and things like that, just for your resource. This is our website if you would like to learn more about our firm and read individual profiles. We also do blog articles a couple a month just on relevant topics for our clients. And that is our contact information. With that, I'll go ahead and open it up to any questions you may have for me tonight.
Thank you, Brittany. Any questions from Mayor or Council? Councilmember Cabrera.
Just a comment, congratulations to the Finance Department for the hard work. And Brittany, it's nice to see you in person. I know we've been seeing you for the past in virtual meetings, so welcome back.
Thank you.
And again,
Thanks
for the staff, congratulations.
Councilmember Cruz.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Thank you for that wonderful audit, and thank you for the staff's hard work. We love to hear that there's no issues, no problems. We love no, 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 no. So thank you, staff. You guys are doing an excellent job.
Absolutely.
Anything else? Mayor?
Rola, thank you. Have a lot of faith on you. I think that I have more faith on you than you had at the beginning, and I was absolutely right. I know you can do the job. You're doing an excellent job keeping your staff together and working together. Teamwork is the most important thing. Thank you. It's highly appreciated.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone else? Hearing none, I'm going to move to accept and approve the filing of the annual comprehensive financial report for the city of San Luis for the fiscal year ended on June 30th, 2024. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Rosales. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 If anyone opposes, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
having me.
Item number 6B, discussion and possible action on any other matters regarding the appointment of a member to serve on the Greater Yuma Port Authority, GYPA, Ms. Jenny Torres, Acting City Manager.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council. The Port Authority is made up of the City of San Luis, Yuma County, the Cocopah Nation, and the City of Yuma. We are allowed to appoint 2 board of directors. At the last council meeting, you appointed Matias Rosales to serve as one of the seats, and the other seat is served by Mayor Nieves Rydell. She would like to give an opportunity to one of the other council members to serve. I know that Councilmember Vargas has had an interest, has been attending all of our Port Authority meetings, so we're recommending that you appoint Councilmember Vargas to the Port Authority Board.
Thank you, Jenny.
I would like to second. Councilmember Vargas has been doing his due diligence. I think he's ready to go, and he will help me a great deal if you still interested in serving.
Yes, Mayor, it will be an honor to represent my city in the capacity as a board of the Yuma Port Authority Board.
Okay, then my vote, I vote to approve your position. Do I?
I'd like to second the motion.
Okay, there's a motion by Mayor Rydell to appoint Javier Vargas to serve on, the Greater Yuma Port Authority Board, and seconded by Councilmember Cabrera. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone opposes, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Item number 6C, Discussion and possible action on any orders regarding the purchase of a manufactured restroom unit for the East Community Park. Ms. Angelica Roldan, Director of Parks and Recreation.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Angelica Roldan, Parks and Recreation Director. The Parks and Recreation staff contacted CXT Precast Concrete Products to continue the East Community Park project. CXT Precast Concrete Product is a business with a vast experience in manufacturing and installing restrooms. Staff will work closely with CXT Precast Concrete Products to provide a clear and level site area for delivering restrooms. Staff will outsource this project to be completed before the prefab restroom arrive. These new restrooms will offer the following benefits for the East Community Park: 2 fully accessible flush restrooms, compliant with ADA standards, interior and exterior lighting for safety and convenience, baby changing tables for families, anti-graffiti coating to maintain the cleanliness and appearance of the restrooms, and exterior mounted ADA drinking fountain. Some other benefits of this restroom is all concrete construction, roof and walls that is extremely vandal resistant, no need to replace roofing or siding, and low maintenance. All plumbing bulbs in chase, none are exposed for vandalism, and lower costs upfront and much lower costs over life cycle from lower maintenance cost. This investment in public amenities will greatly improve the experience for park visitors and align with our commitment to providing accessible and high-quality service for our community. Mayor and Council staff is seeking approval from Mayor and Council members to move forward with the purchase of the manufactured restroom from CXT for the amount of $329,022 and 7,800, utilizing cooperative agreement contract number 081721/CXT under the authority of the City of San Luis Procurement Code 3.05.090. Cooperative purchasing. CXT provided staff with a quote that includes the Sourcewell contract number 081721/CXT, ensuring that the city receives the best pricing for this purchase, so formal bidding wouldn't result in a lower bid. Staff have purchased manufactured restroom from CXT in the past for Bienestar 9B Park, and the quality of the restrooms and the time of delivery and installation were excellent. You have any questions?
Yeah, it's going to have an impact in the city finances, right? I want to see it. Where is the money coming from, and who's going to be impacted by this?
We have actually for this project, we have $400,000. So the cost of the restrooms will be $329,000.
So we already have this money put aside for this in the budget?
It was part of our CIPs.
Oh, okay, I see. Yes. And they are needed.
Yes, very needed.
Are we going to budget for future maintenance? I'm assuming.
We did allocate an amount for next year's budget for the East Park.
Thank you. Any questions from anyone else?
If not, I'll move to approve as presented.
Second.
There's a motion by Mayor Rydell, second by Councilmember Servin to approve the item as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If no one opposes, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Ms. Angelica. Item number 60, discussion and possible action on any matters regarding the authorization to purchase a 60-foot Sabre Model S3TL self-supporting Category 6 tower. Mr. Fernando Corona, IT Manager.
Good afternoon, Mayor, council members, members of the public. The Information Technology Division is seeking approval to utilize $149,000 in AZ-DEMA BSF grant funds to procure a 60-foot Sabre Tower Model S3TL self-supporting Category 6 tower. The tower is, and I have an actual short presentation that I would like to just show you just to get a visual reference of what the project consists of. So the project is just basically two components. Will be done in two phases, but the overall project is the radio communication and tower and concrete shelter construction. Next slide. The objective of this particular project is to improve the communication on the east side of the city of San Luis to ensure that police and fire staff have clear communication while responding to emergency situations for residents in this area. One of the things to consider while making the decision to approve this particular item is some of the urgent concerns that will be addressed with this particular project. First of all, we have a medical mall in that particular area of the city that has, and the prison, which have a few dead spots around around the area. And the other thing is, we're likely gonna encounter additional development in the east side of the city, and therefore it's crucial that we maintain good and clear communication for our public safety personnel. The other thing is that this not only enhances the actual coverage around the east side of the city, but it also compensates for the existing radio communication tower that we have here on our east waste, on our actual water plant in the public works yard. This is actually going to compensate to help for any additional load that might be put on our communication systems whenever there's a huge emergency where we might have to invoke mutual aid and involve large numbers of Yuma County and City of San Luis public safety personnel. Just a community disclosure, even though once the project is completed, even though the communications will improve on the east side of the city and will help and enhance our existing radio communication, we do have to know and make sure the community is aware that the radio repeater will increase the coverage, but a radio repeater, even though it will increase the coverage, in-building coverage issues may still remain, and this is due to the nature of the buildings. If it's if it's heavy-duty commercial buildings, they more than likely will have to deploy a bidirectional amplifier distributed antenna system throughout their building, and that's just because some of these buildings have specialized equipment that may cause interference, and then the building materials will impact the coverage within the inside of the building. But the good news about this project is that by building the tower on the east side of the city will ensure that the coverage outside of the building is available, and therefore ensure that that at least we're doing our due diligence and that we're providing the actual coverage for the developers to actually bring, or the commercial building owner to bring the coverage inside their facility and basically make sure that we have communication within their premise. Phase one basically consists of the actual tower construction. They're going to start by pouring the concrete foundation, not only for the tower, but for the actual shelter. This will take roughly around 6 to 8 weeks. The total cost for this project is $109,792 with 3 cents, which will be completely covered by the police AZ-DEMA fund that the police department was able to be granted. The use cases for this particular tower is, like I said earlier, just enhancing the public safety radio communication. And then in case the city ever needs any point-to-point network communication between buildings, we would be able to utilize this tower for that purpose as well. Or in case a cellular provider is interested in mounting their equipment, we would be able to lease that tower to them. The only thing The only caveat to that particular matter is that we have to be careful with how much equipment we're mounting on our tower, and therefore, if a cellular carrier were to want to mount something on our tower, we would just have to make sure that it's actually not going to exceed the load bearing of our actual tower. Along with this, the tower, the second phase of this it's basically the construction of a 16 by 17 foot shelter. This is actually a separate item in the agenda, but I'm still including it in the presentation just to have a full picture of the whole project. This particular shelter will be equipped with HVAC system, a heating and ventilation air conditioning system, door access control, lighting and electrical installation, alarm systems that will control temperature, smoke detection, intrusion detection, and AC power alarms just in case the power fails. In addition to a power generator that will support the lighting and electrical infrastructure inside the building. The total length of this project is 34 weeks. Therefore, even though this is actually going to impact not this fiscal year, but fiscal year 2026, we're presenting this item just so that we have enough time to build and so we have enough time to plan and build the actual shelter in order to be able to mount the radio repeater by October, December. The use cases, basically, this shelter is going to house public safety communication equipment, and it will also protect roughly over 300,000 worth of wireless radio equipment, basically. And then also protect networking equipment in case the city decides to use it for that particular purpose. We did include a little bit of room for our use case in case we ever need it. That's pretty much the end of the presentation. I don't know if you guys have any questions.
Any questions from Mayor or Council? If not,
I
I'm going
have a
to
question.
entertain a, yes.
So regarding the grant, the $40,000 difference that the grant was awarded for, is that money going to be lost, or is that going to be used? Do you know if it's going to be used somewhere else?
That's actually a great question. And in the second item, one of the things that we mentioned, the only thing we haven't gotten to that item is that we're going to use the remaining funds for the construction of the shelter. So the police department was actually, for this particular project, was granted roughly around $165,000. The only thing, we made an expenditure of $5,000 for a soil evaluation in order to get the proposal. And then the remaining funds are going to be, if this item is approved, the remaining funds are going to be used for the actual tower construction, and then the remaining $49,000 will be applied towards the shelter. And then the only impact that this project will have on our general fund will be the remaining balance for the $339,000 in cash for the shelter. So
Another comment, I really like the idea of leasing the tower to a cell phone provider, especially because out on the east side, not only is the radio communications affected, but also a lot of the cell phone coverage is affected. So maybe having the information available once it's installed, so we could reach out to network providers and be like, hey, we have this tower, this is the limitations that we have. If you're interested, that way we can make some revenue out of the tower. Not only does it help our public safety, but it also helps our revenue.
absolutely, Councilmember.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure you're going to find enough customers because the service in that side of town is lousy. You're going to have to pick and choose because you're going to have more than you anticipate. I can assure you that.
Anyone else? Hearing now, I'm entertaining a motion.
I move to approve the purchase of a 60-foot Sabri Model S3 TL self-supporting Category 6 tower in the amount of $109,792.03, utilizing the NASPO state contract.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilmember Cabrera, seconded by Councilmember Cruz. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 If anyone opposes, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 6E, discussion and possible action on any and all matters regarding the authorization to purchase fabrication of a shelter for the essential protection of communication and radio repeater equipment as a part of a radio service for first responder. Mr. Fernando Corona, IT Manager.
And this is pretty much the second portion of the project. The total cost is $336,917 with 10 cents. The only thing, like I said earlier, only $297,917 with 10 cents will come out of our actual general fund budget, and then the $39,000 that were left over from the Arizona DEMA border fence grant will be used to cover the full balance for the purchase of the tower.
Thank you, Fernando. Any questions for IT?
If not, I move to approve the item is presented.
Second.
There's a motion by Mayor Rydell to approve the item as presented, seconded by Councilmember Cabrera. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone opposes, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Item number
Thank you.
6F, public hearing followed by discussion and possible action on any and all matters regarding the recommendation of a special event liquor license application to the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control to authorize the San Luis Frontera Rotary Club to sell alcohol at the Rotary Royal Casino Night on April 11, 2025. Marcos Ramirez, San Luis Frontera Rotary Club. We're going to start with either staff and/or applicant's presentation.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. Mr. Marcos Ramirez is here. He will be doing the presentation and answer any questions you might have.
Mr. Ramirez.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. So I am here on behalf of the San Luis Frontera Rotary Club for the approval of their special event liquor license. And like they mentioned, this is going to be for our Casino Royale. This would be the second annual one. We did have it last year on this around the same time. This is a major fundraiser that our club started last year, not really knowing how we were going to be doing. It was a really good turnout, and we were able to raise a lot of funds. And these funds were actually going towards our scholarship funds. So I'm pleased to announce that because of this event and another event that we're going to be having later in March, we were able to award over $17,000 to students from our community. So we're really looking and working with all the members and trying to get sponsors and everybody to help make this event a lot bigger than it was last year. And it was a really different event than what we've had in the past. This is a casino night. Again, like I said, when I went into the actual event the day of, I wasn't sure exactly what to expect, but the turnout and the kind of event, I don't think I've ever seen some kind of event like that here in San Luis. And that's kind of what we want to bring. But again, we want to be able to bring something to attract people, especially because this is a fundraiser for us, and we're able to give all this money back to our community. But again, like I said, we're reaching out to see if we can get the approval of this special event liquor license. Like I've always mentioned, every time we have the events, we're going to have security. We're going to make sure that the event is fun but safe for everybody, not just the ones that the Rotarians are there, but everybody that's inside the actual event and the community outside. We do not want anything happening. We've been more than lucky and blessed that we have not had any issues with any of our events or any of our liquor events.
Okay, I'm going to open the public hearing at 6:49 p.m. Are there any questions or comments from council?
Where's excuse my ignorance, but Jardín de Eventos Ocasiones? Where's that at?
It's right across from El Navegante. It's a little event.
I see.
Yes, it's right in
Okay,
front of it.
got it. Okay. Now I can picture it.
Yeah. Any other questions or anything else?
Any questions from any council member? Does anyone from the public have any questions on this item? ¿Alguien de la audiencia tiene alguna pregunta sobre este punto de la agenda? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:50 p.m.
So move. We don't need to vote, right?
Yeah, closed. And with that, I'm going to entertain a motion.
I move to recommend approval to the Arizona Department of Liquor Licenses and Control for this special event liquor license application submitted by the San Luis Frontera Rotary Club as presented.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilmember Cabrera, seconded by Councilmember Rosales. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstain. Can I do that?
Yeah, if anyone opposes, please say nay.
Nay, I have a comment. Since Councilmember Lisette abstained, she might not even have to abstain because she doesn't receive the funds directly, correct?
Yeah, the reason I'm doing it is because I'm also a Rotarian, so I'm part of the club, and I don't know if I can really vote on it or not. If it's okay, then I'll just go ahead and say yes.
The test is whether you would be gaining any money from this or anything of value from the event?
Not really, no. It's for the scholarship funds, not for me. So then I will
You may vote.
retract my, okay.
Okay,
So
so
I'm good.
with that being said, I'm going to follow the mayor's procedure to do a roll call vote, please, since there was a nay.
Mayor Nieves Raydell,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Tadeo Sael de la Hoya,
Aye.
Councilmember Javier Vargas,
Aye.
Councilmember Lisette Servin,
Aye.
Councilmember Maria Cecilia Cruz,
Nay?
Councilmember Esteban Rosales,
Aye.
Councilmember Luis Cabrera.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Motion carries 6-1. Item number, thank you, Mr. Ramirez.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item number 6G, discussion and possible action on any all matters regarding the approval and adoption of order number 2025-01, an order of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona, to authorize the city of San Luis Police Department to receive funding for overtime and mileage by approving an intergovernmental agreement and authorizing execution of subrecipient agreement of Operation Stone Garden Grant Program Award, overtime and mileage between the state of Arizona, the Arizona Department of Homeland Security, and the city of San Luis through the city of San Luis, Arizona, through the San Luis Police Department. Lieutenant Damon Miller.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, members of the public. The San Luis Police Department is asking the approval and adoption of order number 2025-01. The San Luis Police Department has been awarded $630,000 for overtime and $30,000 for mileage under the fiscal year of 2024 Operation Stone Garden Program. The grant performance period is February 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026. The total award grant funded amount is $660,000.
Any questions for Lieutenant Miller?
No.
Hearing none.
I do.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, on this overtime money, is spread with every single member of the police department,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's one
And
person.
Who oversees that?
Administration does. I oversee along with the chief.
Yeah, because before, I had complaints about certain people in the police department getting all the overtime and leaving the new kids in the block out. And I hope and pray that that doesn't happen anymore, because I'm going to be asking a lot of questions, okay?
Yes, Mayor. We do have it. We do send a calendar invite every month, and every officer is allowed to sign up to 40 hours per pay period. And that's across the board with everybody.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Vice Mayor? May I?
Yes.
Congratulations on this grant award. I'm so excited. Who's the one that actually wrote the grant?
Administration does. We end up writing it every year. It opens up.
Okay.
So it has to do with the chief, Michelle, and myself this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lieutenant, and then moving forward with the item that Armando presented earlier today, would then this be considered, do you know if this would be part of our budget that we couldn't reduce if we didn't get the grant? Because that's going to be something that we might need to consider, or it won't affect grants.
This is of the federal Stone Garden grant through the Arizona, they bring the funds down through the Arizona Department of Public Safety, right?
Yes.
And it comes from the federal government.
Yeah, and I understand that, but the question was, will it affect, because we budget for this based on the grant, and if they're not allowing us to reduce the budget for law enforcement, and we don't get this grant for that amount, would we have to, from the general fund, subsidize this grant that you didn't receive the following year? Or that it's not gonna affect the grants?
As your question is posed, that would be an administration decision, and at which point I would assume they would stop any expenses on this grant, given that there's no income. Am I correct, Jenny?
He's correct.
Thank
Just
you.
making sure.
Any more questions for Lieutenant Miller? Hearing none, I'm going to entertain a motion.
I move to, I move to approve and adopt order number 2025-01, approving the intergovernmental agreement and grant as presented.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilmember Servin, seconded by Mayor Rydell. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone opposes, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 6H, discussion and possible action on any all matters regarding the approval and adoption of order number 2025-02, an order of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona to authorize the city of San Luis Police Department to receive funding for equipment by approving an intergovernmental agreement and authorizing execution of a subrecipient agreement Operation Stone Garden Grant Program Award, overtime and mileage between the state of Arizona through the Arizona Department of Homeland Security and the city of San Luis, Arizona through the San Luis Police Department. Lieutenant Miller.
Once again, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, and members of the public. The San Luis Police Department is asking the approval and adoption of order number 2025-05. The San Luis Police Department has been awarded $83,000 for the equipment under the fiscal year 2024 Operation Stone Garden program. Again, the grant performance period is February 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026. The total awarded grant funded amount is $83,000. This will be for a vehicle to use while working Operation Stone Garden.
Are you going to be replacing old fleet or are adding to the current Stone Garden fleet that we have?
We would possibly be replacing it. They are breaking down. They're pretty old, so yeah, we're probably going to be replacing them.
Does anyone else have any questions? Hearing none, I'm going to entertain a motion.
I move to approve and adopt order number 2025-02, approving the intergovernmental agreement and grant as presented.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilmember Cruz, seconded by Councilmember Vargas. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone opposes, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Miller.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
it was Councilmember Rosales that, second, no, motion.
Did I say it backwards?
No, you said Cruz.
Okay, my apologies. For the record, it was motioned by Councilmember Rosales and seconded by Councilmember Vargas. Correct? And it passes unanimously.
That is correct.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Cruz. Item number 6I, discussion and possible action on any matters regarding resolution number 2353, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona, reducing the city council members' pay by 50% and amending the city of San Luis personnel policies to remove city council members from dental and vision care coverage paid by the city, establishing an effective date, repealing any provisions, and providing for severability. Ms. Kay McQuill, City Attorney.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Bless you. This item is to reduce the council's pay. I'm sort of embarrassed to present that to my bosses, but this is the proposal. And it reduces the pay to 50% of what it is right now and eliminates vision and dental care from the health plan of the council.
I got a comment.
Yes, Mayor.
Are you done, Kay?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, we've been meeting together with the department heads, and there had been some discussions, and they had been asking me what is the mayor and the council willing to do to go through what we're asking everybody to go through. And I said, we'll do anything that we can help with balancing and helping the city predicaments that we're going through with our finances. And I said, I will present to the council this item, and feel free to vote. It's just me showing all of you city employees that we feel your pain, we're with you, and to me, is a fair thing to do. But I'm only one vote, and it was my duty to present it to the council.
Okay. Anyone else? Any comments or questions or concerns? Hearing none, I'm gonna.
Vice Mayor.
Councilmember Cruz, yes?
Yes, I want to know what would the savings be if we reduced this by 50% and removing vision and dental?
Acting City Manager Jenny handed me a chart. Salaries, maybe you should.
Rola's going to help.
Rola's going to help me, I'm not sure. And another thing I didn't mention, under the law, this will not take effect until January 1st, 2027. If all the newly elected people from the 2026 election have taken their oath by that time.
So Councilmember Cruz, the 50% reduction, so it will be saving $54,830
$54,800, that's for one council member?
for all of you,
Everybody.
everybody.
So 54,000 for the pay plus the vision and dental.
That is correct.
And do we have to make a decision now on something that is happening 2 years from now?
You can,
Pardon me, it's per year. It's 54,830 per year, the whole year, for 1 year.
okay. Anyone else, any other questions?
That document wasn't added to our
Agenda.
Another question that some of the department has asked, if we were willing to take less trips and save more money. And I said, yes, I'll bring it to the agenda, okay? It's not my decision. You guys ask, and I'm delivering just to show you that we are responsible people here. And like I said before, and I will say it again, everybody's a single boat. Don't feel bad, don't feel obligated. And it's just that we need to address this to show everybody that if we're asking people for some cuts and to save here and there and everywhere, we should be willing to do the same thing. Whatever is $5 or $500,000, it's just making a point. We know. We know what we're going through. We know what we're asking the staff to do.
Just to that, when you had the conversations with staff, I didn't. When you talk about trips, I would think that staff would agree that professional development is important, and I don't think that we do any unnecessary trips other than to go out and advocate for the state of San Luis, Arizona. So I think that I kind of speak for everyone else when we take trips. It's just not for the picture that it's on social media. It's actually to work and represent the city. And sometimes when I see it, either if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So when they start cutting, programs and things, and you're not there to defend the city, it does make a difference. So, but that's my opinion.
I
or
agree.
clarifying that for staff that, that we might cut down on trips. Yeah, it can be done. I agree with Mayor Idell, but it's not just unnecessary trips that we're just going back and forth. And to clarify that to the audience, we're representing, we're advocating, we're getting professional development. It's that, that creates good governance and good leadership, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree with you, Vice Mayor Tadeo. I do agree we have to probably be more strategic about the trainings that we are going to, but we do need to have presence out there. I mean, 90% of what is going to happen or on leadership, it's showing up. The other 10% is what we make out of it. So it is important for us to be out there and represent our community. So I do agree with Vice Mayor and the mayor too, but we have to be more selective and strategic when it comes to training, but we cannot just cut off every training.
I also agree. It's very important for us to be present at those meetings and trainings. I remember 25 years ago, I used to work for CK, and they will send me out of town for training. Now that we are decision makers for a whole town, I mean, I think we need to be prepared and very well informed to take our decisions.
And to be fair, since I became mayor, we've been cutting the mayor's and the council's budget. And you know that, Rola, okay? We've been doing our best, and sometimes we don't let people know what we're doing, but it's time to put everything on the table so the misinformation or the resentment does not keep growing, okay?
And to that, yes, Mayor, you have denied us some travel, so yes, we've been cutting that. With that, I'm gonna entertain a
I would
motion.
like to make a comment, Mayor, Vice Mayor, please.
Yes.
As far as cutting travel, I don't think that's something that you can cut. I'm going to go back to when we were advocating for the port of entry.
Yep.
If we weren't constantly going to the Washington, D.C., if we weren't constantly going to the capital of Arizona, speaking up for Arizona, do you think we would get that funding? No. If you don't show up, that means you don't have interest. If you don't show up, if you don't participate, if you don't speak up for your city, for your county, for your state, we have a port of entry. We have hundreds of millions of dollars being invested in this city, which is going to bring multiple businesses. We can see it already. We have 2 hospitals coming in. Former Mayor Sanchez and other council members were very diligent of being there, advocating for our city. And it's not just for our city. It was for our state, for the nation. Because if we don't have all these top quality equipment, surveillances, and everything that we have, and you guys wanna, whoever proposed this or whoever asked this is asking us not to do our job? Wow, I am really surprised. Whoever put this on the agenda.
I did.
Yes,
I did.
I
I got to
know.
be responsible. Maybe we're talking other times where the other mayors didn't have the money problems that we're going through at this moment, Councilmember Cruz. So things change. And let me add, the reason that the hospitals are coming to town is because of our growth, okay? It got nothing to do with none of us here advocating. They're coming because they see the need and they see the opportunity of making money off our people. It's just a business.
I wasn't done, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
was still speaking. So, thank you for bringing this up so people can hear our points of view. I think this is very important, that we have to try to penny pinch everything. I am a penny pincher also. But when you're trying to stop us from doing our job, from representing our city everywhere we go, we bring dignity to our city because we advocate for a city we love. So now I'm done.
I remember when you guys took those trips for the port of entry, and it took a number of years for that to happen, and it's because of trips like that that we have that, and it's also because of those trips we have Starbucks, we have Clean Freak, we have all these number of businesses coming into our community, and things that our citizens want to see. So I don't think that's a good thing to be cutting, especially right now where we're trying to find grants and go find other programs to find other ways of funding. This is an important thing for us to do to go advocate for ourselves. as a city and a community.
And again, I don't know why, this is an important question and move that we want to do, but why are we bringing it now when it's not going, even if we vote today, it's not going to take effect until 2 years from now. So why do we have to vote today? Can we just table it and wait maybe a year or two? I mean, we have new elections coming in 2026. Council will change and we don't know who's going to be here. So if we vote now, can we vote again in 2 years before? I mean, it's too soon. I mean, we're talking 2 years. It's not.
You can vote tonight, the mayor,
We can
you,
vote
anyone
again.
can bring it back, it's up to that. So with that being said, I'm gonna entertain a motion.
I move to disapprove resolution number 2353.
Second.
There was a motion to deny resolution 2353 by Councilmember Rosales, seconded by Councilmember Servin. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed, say nay.
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 Can I have roll call, please?
Wait, I need clarification. I said aye, but I don't know what I was saying aye to. I got confused.
You voted aye to deny the resolution.
Aye to deny the resolution, okay.
Okay. Following the mayor's practice, can I have roll call, please?
Mayor Nieves Rydell?
For approval?
Disapproval.
To deny?
Deny.
No.
Vice Mayor Tadeo Sael de la Hoya?
Aye.
Councilmember Javier Vargas?
Nay.
Councilmember Lisette Servin?
Aye.
Councilmember Maria Cecilia Cruz?
Aye.
Councilmember Esteban Rosales?
Aye.
Councilmember Luis Cabrera?
Nay.
Thank you. Motion carries 4-3. Item number 6J.
Vice Mayor, the motion did not carry. It was 4 nays.
4 A's and
4 nays. I said nay. My vote was nay.
3 nays.
it's 3 nays.
We have 4 ayes and 3 nays.
So-
Carries.
Motion carries to
deny.
disapprove.
Carries.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Could we do,
How do you vote it?
Yeah, that's why I was confused, like saying aye.
So there
nay,
was,
nay,
the motion was not what it was, it was a motion to deny the
to
resolution,
deny the resolution, not to move forward.
right?
So you voted correctly?
Let's make it clear.
I know.
I move to approve resolution number 2352.
Wait a minute, we've just voted.
We
Oh,
just
but
voted.
that was against.
but it passed.
But it passed,
Okay.
there's 4 ayes.
Hold on.
So now
Okay,
we
hold
clear
on.
that it didn't pass.
There's the vice
Hold
mayor.
on. So the motion to deny the resolution carried 4-3.
Correct.
Does anyone want to amend their vote? So it dies, correct? Okay,
Correct.
thank you. Item number 6J. Discussion and possible action on any all matters regarding resolution number 2352, a resolution of the mayor of the city council of the state of San Luis, Arizona, authorizing the acting city manager to release the June 22, 2022 lien and land, approved by resolution number 2222 upon adequate substitute assurances for Los Mezquites subdivision. Ms. McQuill, city attorney, and my understanding that Mayor Rydell is abstaining on this item,
I'm
correct?
abstaining. I got a conflict.
So noted. Ms. Kay?
Yes, this item has quite a history to it. Mezquites subdivision, Los Mezquites subdivision was partially secured by a pledge hold, which was a pledge of land to the city. And now we're at the end of, nearing the end of the subdivision construction. And a bond, performance bond has been submitted to the city in substitution for the land. And the agenda item goes through the different items that it will substitute for. Some things have been completed. There's a couple of warranties that will expire in October that will drop out of the need for assurances for those. This item, however, is not to accept this substitution at this point. There is still a traffic study pending, and so we'll have to, it's been imminently coming for several weeks. We thought it might be here by now, but that traffic study is still pending, and it might cause for more assurances to be needed for the subdivision. But then again, it might not. So at this point, this item is for Jenny to have the authority to approve the assurances under the subdivision laws. I am the one who determines whether there are sufficient assurances for these subdivision matters. And so once I say that it's sufficient, then this item would give Jenny the authority to sign off on the releasing the hold on the land that we have for assurances now. Any questions?
Any questions from any council member? Hearing none, I'm going to entertain a motion.
I move to approve and adopt. I move to approve and adopt resolution number 2352, authorizing the acting city manager to release the lien upon completion of staff review and approval.
I second.
There's a motion by Councilmember Servin, seconded by Councilmember Rosales. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone opposes, please say nay. Motion carries with 6 votes and 1 abstention. Item number 6K, discuss on impossible action on any matters regarding ordinance number 459, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona, amending ordinance 455, requiring dog licenses, repealing conflicting provisions, and providing for severability. Okay.
Good evening again, council members and mayor. This item was brought to our attention by the prosecutor. She noticed that the city had its own penalties for the dog license vaccination ordinance. And there's already a state-level penalties for the same thing. So just to bring our ordinance in line and to make sure that it stays in line in the future, it references the state law rather than creating our own penalties for the dog license requirement.
Thank you, Kay. Any questions for Kay? If not, I move to approve the reading of ordinance number 459
Second.
by title only.
Second.
Has moved and seconded by Mayor Rydell. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 If anyone opposes, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Sonia?
Ordinance number 459, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona, amending ordinance number 455, requiring dog licenses, repealing conflicting provisions, and providing for severability.
I make a motion to approve and adopt ordinance number 459 as presented.
Second.
There was a motion by Councilmember Cabrera, seconded by Councilmember Vargas. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If anyone opposes, please say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Kay.
Thank you.
Item number 7, summary of current events. Events by mayor, council members, and/or city manager pursuant to ARS subsection 38-43102K. Does anyone have anything for item number 7?
Well, today I had the opportunity to visit our municipal court. I had a tour with judge and staff, and it was really nice to see the facility, the building. I got to meet all staff, and we talked about all the needs and the improvements and how they've been moving forward since the new judge got here, and it was really nice. I encourage all of you, whenever you get a chance, if you haven't been there, to stop by and just say hi to staff and learn more about their operations and their goals, their vision, because they're doing a really good job for our city. So I just want to congratulate them for what they're doing and invite all of you whenever you get a chance to stop by.
Councilmember Servin, I'm sure you realized how much in need we are of a new
The whole
municipal
city.
court, right?
But I found out unique needs that I would like to advocate later on. That's it for me. Oh, also, last month, I started with the transportation, what's it called?
Why,
The-
SIPTA.
SIPTA, yes, I want to say SIPTA because the name is really long. I was really welcome, and there's a change in the board, with the board of directors as a new president, treasurer, secretary. But it was interesting. It was my first meeting, and it was really nice. So I also just wanted to report on that. There's nothing to report yet. It was the first meeting of the year, but it was really interesting, and the city of San Luis is really welcome there.
And then,
Are you-
Done, yeah.
Thank you, Councilmember Servin.
And then, since being appointed to the GYDC, I was able to meet with staff today and go over our plan and of how we're going to grow the city of San Luis economically, and reassuring me that we're on the right path of growing San Luis in every way that we can, and that I'm very excited for the upcoming projects that we have coming up this coming year and the next year.
This is a free commercial for me. Eddie's Food Court, we were there. It was wonderful. And we have a place to go and have breakfast. They got the best muffins. So let's go and visit them and go and spend a little money in those businesses. Let's support our local businesses. It's very, very important. Those people put over $2 million on that amazing place. I encourage every single one of you to go and visit. And they have 6 restaurants, including the bar. The bar is nice. I'm not a drinker, but I can appreciate a good bar.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone else?
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
I just want to mention that last Saturday, we attended the Amberley's 25th anniversary celebrating their advocacy for domestic violence victims. And we're very appreciative of what they do for whole Yuma County. We also, Councilmember Lisette joined me, and there was also members from the police department there. So we just want to thank Amberley's for everything that they do for those victims.
Oh, Ms. Cruz, how was your soccer tournament that you had? How did that go?
Thank you for attending. It went well. That was our first soccer tournament. There was 5 teams, and we got to discuss Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, which is the month of February. We got to speak to the soccer players and to the parents, which was something of an eye-opening experience. They never had anything like that. And we awarded the winners first and second place with gift cards of $20 each. There were 7 players for the winners and then 7 players for second place also. So $20 gift cards for first place and then $10 gift cards for each player for second place. So thank you for attending.
It was an awesome event. I appreciate being there. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'd just like to add an invitation. It's already on social media, but for the Mascota Mania event, I know last year was very well attended. It's going to be held on February 22nd from 9. It starts at 9 a.m. So at our Jorduño Park, I'm looking forward to seeing all the pets out there and the contest. It's a very fun event that our Parks and Recreation Department puts together for all of us at the city, city council, city employees, and city residents as well. So put it on your calendar so you can attend.
Yes.
May I add, I want to give a shout out to Adal from Parks and Recs and Mr. Gomez for helping us arrange the tournament. I mean, I just asked for some help and they were like that. I think they planned this tournament within 2 weeks. So please thank your staff members. Mr. Alvaro, please, Parks and Recs Department. It was, I loved it. Thank you.
All right. With that, we are ready to care of item number 8 after item number 3, and I'm adjourning this meeting at 7:25 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night.